Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the readings. So I do, as I said, like to look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes to give you an understanding of why everything's playing out the way that it is. Very important when you're dealing with soulmates that trigger you, soulmates that, show you something that, you really don't understand why they're showing you what they're showing you, why they're acting the way that they're acting. Their character isn't in alignment with unconditional love, and a soulmate we tend to associate with unconditional love, someone that we just have a connection with. They feel like home. There is no rule, there is no like reason. Like we don't remember choosing this person. We just love them, even though they don't show us things that make you want to love them. So it's very confusing, these type of karmic relationships. But karmic relationships help us dive deep within ourselves to help us see where we are cutting ourselves off, where we are blocked off from love. See, our energy, our God-given energy, the energy that we're born with when we're babies, we're born into a world that's imperfect, but us babies are perfect. Even if, you may perceive that a baby has a handicap, like one hand or one arm, spirit will say that baby's perfect. It's made the way that I wanted to make that baby. The illusion is that there's something wrong with that baby because it has one hand or it only has one arm. Again, that's an example. We tend to put labels on things, and it's because what we perceive, and the world usually is what determines what we perceive. And the people in our world, obviously, like our families and our ancestors, as well as the people that we go to school with and the people that we interact with within our, communities. So, and collectively, within the world, we don't even realize that we inherit collective karma. And so all of this determines our habits, our behaviorisms. And problem is that a lot of times we form habits and our behaviorisms from imbalanced environments, living with someone that's imbalanced, living in an alcoholic environment, like where someone is an alcoholic, living with someone that does drugs, living with someone that's a narcissist, like living with someone that's imbalanced will make you imbalanced over time because you have to form habits and behaviorisms that are in alignment with your survival. And if your survival feels that, you're threatened due to being in an environment with someone that is toxic, well, like I said, it makes an imprint. It makes an imprint on your subconscious mind. And so then we go out into the world, we leave that situation only to wind up in very similar situations, attracted to similar people and having the same type of karmic themes play out, which only solidifies our belief in who we perceive that we are, where we really aren't those perceptions. We we are supposed to be an expression of unconditional love, and we get to choose how we want to do that, how we want to connect collectively to humanity, to the people that are in our society, how we want to do it, what's our contribution. That life is so much bigger, has such a bigger meaning than our small perceptions about ourselves. And when we can put things in the right perception and see things from a spiritual perspective, we're able to integrate our own wounds and transcend the limitations that we perceive that are blocking us from experiencing the abundance and the happiness and the love, the unconditional love that we want to experience. All right. I know that that was long, but I never know why spirits opens up the reading the way that it opens up the reading. I don't know. If someone has a lot of anxiety. I feel like I have a lot of anxiety. I'm picking up on someone that is really nervous. I don't know who that is, but um, maybe it'll tie in to the story somehow. Let's see. Now, if you want to enter into winning free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. And it's the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. Very important when you're dealing with people that create facades. Again, that's usually the trigger. Why are they doing that? You know, doesn't make any sense. All right, the word in the video is impatience. I'm gonna pull another one. Hmm, Past life. Well, I'm feeling like you're in separation from someone that is getting really impatient. They thought by now that you'd be back. They thought that you would, you know, make it easy on them. And I feel like there's a past life connection. And this person has lost you before in a past life, and they have anxiety and worry. And that's why I'm feeling the anxiety. I'm feeling like the person that's connected to you. You're dealing with them. They were very self-righteous and negative, and so they didn't really give you the energy of like they wanted to be in any type of relationship. I feel like they gave you very little energy. And that's why they have anxiety now. But let's take a peek and let's see what this person, what happened. What happened? Where are they? What they're gonna do? Okay, vicious cycles. Like this person just being connected to them, they're stuck in vicious cycles where they feel stuck in patterns that they never escape from. And it's because they never heal their past life karma. They go into every single relationship with all the baggage from the previous relationship, which means their perceptions about themselves and the world around them are distorted. So this person like is always stuck in a vicious cycle of survival, of trying to repair their life after someone has betrayed them. I feel like this person is not free from they're not free from the sabotaging behavior. I feel like this person does things bad in a relationship that they don't respect the person in a relationship. They tend to only care about themselves. And so that's why they continue to create the same types of relationships that are full of drama, that are really toxic, that affect their health, that affect their financial abundance. And so, again, this person just is stuck in that vicious cycle. So, when they meet you, they perceive you, I feel like they perceived you like everyone else, like you're a gold digger, you only want to be with people for money. I feel like this person only you like would use people kind of for sex and use like give money in return. Like I'll give you something if you give me something, but they didn't form emotional connection. So that's also another part of the vicious cycle, the way that you handle people, the way that this person handles people. So I feel like the way that they handled you, and so it's like they could get out of that vicious cycle, but a lot of it is, um, like I said, created from trauma. So they're not even aware of it. They're living more from the subconscious mind, from their trauma. They're going into the relationship with certain beliefs. And I feel like you're someone that tends to get out of one relationship and then you find yourself in another relationship that the person is not emotionally available. So you're both seeing this reoccurring pattern that keeps you both in a place of disempowerment. And that's important because, again, we are not supposed to be in a place of disempowerment. We are the energy of unconditional love, the energy of God. We are abundant. And so to, again, stay stuck in a cycle of limitation is bad. It means that there's like a lot of karmic looping. And in that, it means that this person doesn't come into the relationship even trusting. They're coming into the relationship already like figuring out what the relationship's going to look like. And when they're in a relationship, I feel like they're there, but they're not. They do a lot of they drink a lot. They do a lot of drugs. They do a lot, and they do that with you and they do that without you. Meaning, feel like this person tends to avoid reality. They have a very hard time being in the present, and that's again because they haven't healed. Now they wouldn't think that they do like their drugs or drink because of trauma, but the truth of the matter is that's why people do drugs and they drink. It's because they feel like there's something wrong with them. That's why people do that. It's a way that they escape. They can't figure out what's the matter. And they can't figure out what's the matter because every relationship looks the same. Every relationship looks the same because they don't heal. They try to control the situation, but they don't realize that the focus is on feeling the need to control because they don't trust. So what happens is they create situations that they can't trust the person, which creates a lot of problems within intimacy. Because over time, no one wants to be in a relationship with someone that doesn't really give them. So I feel like this person does better with someone that smokes a lot of weed, that drinks a lot, that parties a lot, that because again, they escape. And obviously, again, stay asleep. And this is why you see a lot of the same vicious cycles over and over and over again. And this person is so insecure. I feel like even when they know that they're wrong, it's like they don't want to make the wrong decision. So they're slow to act. They wait too long that a lot of times they miss out, by the time that they actually come around. It's like you don't even want to be with them because they sabotage the connection. Because who wants to be in a relationship with someone that literally emotionally cannot show up, that they're so slow to act? It's almost like I'm gonna wait till the last possible minute because I don't want to show any vulnerability at all. I want to give you absolutely nothing emotionally because I don't want to come across as weak. And if you don't want to stay with me, well, then I'm going to show that I don't really care about it. So again, and then they play dumb, they play dumb, like, because it's not like you don't tell them, like you need to be reassured that this person is like, no, I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to give you that. And I'm going to do everything to make you actually think that I don't like you. To again tell you that I don't really think that you're worth my time. Where again, that's not it. This person would rather check out. They don't really want to do the work. People that check out like through substances, they tend to be lazy. They don't want to look for the answer. It's like they're stuck in angry. They're stuck in anger and shame because of what happened. Someone did them wrong. So it's because someone did them wrong that they're not going to open up their heart. And this is why they stay in a place that is again place of really victimization, but they're wearing their hurt as armor, where this is why they stay in a vicious cycle and play dumb because they don't really want to change. And then what happens is it's like the relationship it becomes like too intense because it winds up generating too much drama and it becomes exhausting. Like where it's like you're like I don't want to make a big deal over every little thing. I don't like when you giving me feels like pulling teeth. That's what you feel like. You're like, you make everything too difficult, where this person's creating a facade. And it's like that's like no one's really comes across that way. Like they're just being blind. They refuse to see how they are. They refuse to see how they are. They refuse to look at things from your perception. And there's a sense that, I feel like for a long time you were blind, where this person showed you right from the beginning that they weren't capable of emotionally showing up for you. And so, like the spirit's saying, if you get to the place where you're unsure because this person says one thing and then does another thing, well, take a few steps back. That's really what Spirit's saying. Spirit's saying you're too close up to the picture emotionally. Like when we're so close up to the picture, we don't see the detail. But when we have a life, right, we're invested in our life. This is how we take a step back. We have other things going on in our life. When we come back to that person, we can really see things from a different perception because emotionally we're being taken care of. When you're emotionally not taking care of yourself, your subconscious is willing to look over certain things with the karmic, where like I feel like for a while, like I said, the relationship became very intense because it's not like there isn't passion, but again, the lack of will, like this person like doesn't like give enough energy. It's like they've almost given up and stopped trying before they even started. And that's because they don't really want to have to do anything. They don't want to have to come across vulnerable, but they don't want to have to come across vulnerable because they've already been in relationships that have already hurt them and they haven't healed from their previous hurt. So how it comes out is that this person's lazy and they would rather trigger you to get you to respond by, again, like acting like they can't breathe in a relationship, or you feel like you can't breathe in the relationship sometimes because this person, when they were around, they were controlling, but then they wouldn't be around. And if you wanted to be more in a relationship or have them more around, create more intimacy, I should say, um, they would say that they can't breathe, like they're like almost like you're smothering them, like it's too much. And they might not said it in words, but you could get it. You felt the energy. You felt what they were giving you, like almost like oh, hold up. Like what are you gonna like tell me what we're gonna do every single day where you're like, okay, that's not what I'm saying. It's like you felt like after a while you just couldn't trust this person. You felt very uneasy in the connection because like this person it was not showing up enough for you, was not letting you be emotionally vulnerable or transparent. And in that, you're like, if you can't do it for me, are you doing it for somebody else? Like, you don't want to be around me. You're telling me that I'm smothering you. Why? You want, are you seeing other people? And I feel like this person liked to create that facade. But again, where you don't trust them, because if you don't trust them, you're going to try and give them more, and then you're the one that's trying to convince them. And I feel like you got tired of it. It's like you feel like you purposely forget about me. You purposely want me to feel ignored. You purposely want me to feel that I'm invisible. And then when I say something to you, you get mad and then you withdraw and then you act like I never even existed. You have a lot of time for everything and everyone else, even your hobbies. Again, you stonewall me. Again, you just cut off all attention emotionally and you don't talk to me and you go ghost and where you forget about me because I'm complaining that you're really not putting in any effort You really look like it's a struggle for you to have to do it. Like it's like you're doing me a favor. It's like it's not definitely not a priority of yours. Where Spirit says, again, this is when it's like the person is pretending to be blind, but they're not blind. And then when you're around, they create a lot of intense energy. And part of that is because they check out, and God only knows what the other vicious cycles are. Talking to other people, escaping. What do they do when they stonewall? Really, that's what I feel. Again, look at this X factor. Like, do you run back to your ex? Do you talk to like a previous person, or are you just talking to people that have been in your inbox? But you're not giving me the attention, you know? No, you're ignoring me. That's what you're doing. It's like playing games, head games. Again, attention, not giving me attention, but you need constant attention on you. So you know that this person is talking to people like not significant people, but people they could be real surface with, people that they've hooked up with before, but it didn't go anywhere, and people that are still like holding on to this person, they're like waiting for this person, but those people are not ever really gonna wind up with this person because um this person wants to be with someone that they perceive is a good catch. Those people, once they're with someone and it's not hard, they don't think that that person's a good catch. However, that's a person that can entertain them. That's a person that's gonna, stop what they're doing when they come around and talk to them because, hey, you already gave yourself up to me. You already gave me time. You already, invested a little bit into me. So I'm going to come back around and I'm going to be all charming and sweet and flirty. And, I might ask for some pictures in exchange, and I'm going to entertain myself this way. And this way I don't have to talk to you, again. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to purposely make you feel forgotten about and really not important. But again, I need constant attention. I'm going to ignore you, like I said. And really, it's just a vicious cycle of escaping, whether it's through people or through addictions. And so every connection winds up becoming too intense, full of drama, where you're going to be exhausted because the focus is always going to be on me. And then if you say anything, well, it's again, I'm going to play stupid and be really slow to act to like make you feel safe, to make you feel, you know, so that you can trust me. I'm purposely not going to allow you to trust me. And if you're going to eventually try to get me to trust you, that like, I mean, eventually you're going to like eventually you'd give up, but this person thinks you'd try harder. You'd lose yourself in them. Really. I mean, that's what this person does. They're not giving emotionally, but they're pretending to give emotionally. They're coming around every once in a while training you. So really, again, keeping you in a place of disempowerment where really, again, this person has a lot of burdens when it comes to like their previous relationships. I feel like they were either married, divorced, and they have a lot of, they have to pay child support. They might have to pay for a few different children from a few different families. And it's like it's almost like too much for this person, so that it's almost like they can't even think about getting into a relationship with someone truthfully where they're really giving, because this person thinks about relationships, they think of them as like their burdens, where relationships are not burdens. It's you make burdens through your character, and this person has bad character, and because they take a lot of risks in a relationship, And that those risks are talking to multiple people, doing drugs, drinking too much, going to the job drunk, all that is how you get in your own way. That all of that is avoidance from life. Again, where this person like needs balance. They need balance. You're very balanced. So there's a sense that this person likes that because you seem very strong in yourself. So the problem is that they look at you through what they can benefit through you. So again, you being very strong, you again being a good, possibly for being able to provide for yourself and being able to take care of yourself, being very balanced. Like I said, this person wants to be with someone like that, someone that they don't have to take care of because they already have to take care of a lot of other people. So again, they're not really living their life. They feel like they're living the consequences of their life, which means a lot of other people have their time and their energy because they have to pay for those children, or they have to pay alimony, or they have to pay whatever it is. It's that they have to pay. And so their entertainment is almost like they take risks because their energy is so low and so depressed. This is why they always want to escape because they don't like their life. And so getting into a connection with this person would be like getting into a karmic contract because they're not looking to heal. They're not looking for that. This person wants to be in a relationship where they can be with multiple people where because they want the constant attention because they already feel like I'm being drained from so many other sources that if I have to be in a connection with someone because which by the way this tells you a lot about this person. They believe that they can't be loved. They've never had a real relationship with love. And it doesn't mean that they haven't been in relationships. I feel like they've been in relationships where they were not in love. They might have been in lust, which lasted for a short period of time, but produced children. And now they have to pay for those children. And so they're paying for the consequences of the passion, and they're not really happy with their life because they don't own their life. They have to work to support everybody, themselves. And if they have children from two different families and they have to give something, so that means you would be in a relationship essentially with a person that does nothing, that can't do anything for you. And again, that will always be like money problems, because again, this person has too many burdens from their previous karma. Again, here we see it again, a lack. But I want you to know lack is not just when it comes to money, and I say that all the time. Lack is a state of mind. It's like this person's life is very like, temporary fixes of alcohol and hookups, one and dones, with nothing that ever really grows because again of all their responsibilities and it's catching up to them. It's like they look at you, you're balanced. Yeah, your life looks so easy. Yeah, because you do the right thing. You take care of yourself. So, and in taking care of yourself, you look good. You're making money. You're able to support yourself. You're strong. You're a good catch. And so now this person is seeing, but they wanted to have a good old time way back when where they had it, but now there's responsibilities. It produced responsibilities, whether that was people or karmically they did things where, now they, may be on home arrest or like have to pay a debt to society. They did something due to their bad behavior. And so there's a lack of money and there's a lack of really an identity which is why this person would want to keep you in a place of disempowerment because what are they going to be able to be with you when they don't have any identity really and they're giving all their time, all their energy to like past connections that they never really wanted to be in, but they were again based on passion, based on, you know, responsibility, where now you don't think that this person's going to get jealous. They're going to get very jealous. They're going to be very spiteful and very angry because they don't feel like they have control over their life. Again, this person feels like, well, any other way, it's almost like rejection. Like, who's going to want me like this? So if you like them, they're going to try and really come into your life like really, really fast, hook, line, and sinker, because again, they have other, responsibilities from taking past risk. They don't have that much to offer. So I feel like this person's like would come in very, very passionately, like I said, because it's like you're a really good catch, but you would wind up in a one-sided relationship. It's like, again, what did I say? This, sex, coming in very passionately. So, like, that's what I feel like. I feel like this person didn't give you anything. They went away. They must have like hooked up, have other responsibilities, or their life fell apart. Maybe they were married at one point. They lost everything. Maybe again, they hooked up with multiple people, got multiple people pregnant. Whatever it is, this person is going through major money problems. There's a lack. They're looking at you like you're looking pretty good. But when they first met you, they were not interested in giving anything on an emotional level. And it's not like you didn't tell them, but this person, like I said, was in a partying mode, So the only type of relationship that they would really be able to have, again, is one that keeps you in a place of disempowerment, and really all that there is sex and dominance in that way, because they were all passionate. But the relationship essentially would bring a lot of emptiness. It's like, and this is this past life karmic connection. So it's not like it's not, but it would create so much paranoia with inside you because this person's paranoid. They are afraid of rejection. And if you're going to be in a high vibration and taking care of your life and doing what you need to do, looking good, feeling good, well, while this person doesn't have control over their life, they're going to get triggered a lot. And so spirit says they will try and come back, but part of the reason why they're coming back is because of the stability and the structure that you present. Like you're the entire package, but this person really needs to be with the entire package because they're not going to have anything. Is again, there's a lack, and that lack is not just financially, the money matters are because of their addictions on top of the way that they live and having to pay for like everyone else. So spirit's saying it's there if you want it because the person's coming back. You have free will, but this person would not be good. They're not healed. Again, they're just going back, going into a new relationship with all the same habits, all the same behaviorisms, and gonna acquire more, karma is what spirit is seeing here. All right, so we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? I'm gonna pull six. I mean, I actually want to pull from another deck as well. Um, discipline, number one, imagination, number two, anchor, three, support, four, unworthy, five, abuse, six, um, play, self-sabotage, abandonment. abandonment. Um, those are the inner child wound cards. But I wanted to see that, like, would spirit like shine a little bit of light, like, on this person, a little bit, like this person. My ego is fragile to criticism and rejection. I've created walls to protect myself. And that's really what's leading it. I also feel like, and as long as this person is going to have those walls up, it's essentially going to be a problem. This person also has been giving their power away to people in their life, and they're learning to set boundaries. So I believe, again, most of their energy is going towards like previous, connections, but connections that were really never supposed to turn into something, but wound up producing like either children or responsibilities somehow, or, you know, uh, and so, in that, this person's reckless behavior of, addictions and, people, affairs, having affairs, I should say, um, they the other people that are around them kind of own them because this person does not feel good about themselves. There's someone that hates their life. They check out all the time because, again, they financially they don't have any money. They don't have anything really to give because, again, of their previous um, connections. So this is the way that, they try to make up for it. But they're dealing with people that don't like them, people that are really angry on the way that they treated them. And so, it's like they're trying to give possibly a little bit more so the consequences are a little bit less, but the consequences are not less. And this is why this person is coming to the realization like this is what my life is. It's either I'm gonna have to give so much to like everyone else and I'm never going to be able to afford to have my own life. And here it is, they're looking at you and you look really good. But remember when they looked at you before, they weren't like, they didn't give you the time. They didn't want to do that. They were in party time. They were in, I need a lot of attention. I want you to be a certain way. They were in this cocky, self-righteous energy. Well, they're not in that self-righteous energy anymore. Again, they have to give all their time and their energy away. And so, of course, they're looking at you like, you're a great thing, but spirit is saying, no, like, why would you want to deal with that type of abuse? This person abandoned you, first of all. They abandoned you. And before that, they abused you psychologically and emotionally. Okay. They did not bring any support, a relationship, with no support at all. Like, they didn't do anything, they gave nothing. They made you feel unworthy with how little amount of time that they gave you. Okay. So again, no support. There was none of that. And so Spirit says, to be with them, to give your time and your energy away to people that haven't given you. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to come in and make 1,000 excuses on why, but they still did not. Spirit says that's sabotage, self-sabotaging behavior. And the self-sabotaging behavior a lot of times comes from, again, when you grow up in an environment that there's abuse because you feel unworthy. So what happens is that you care more about pleasing that the abuser, when you grow up in abuse, like you care more about your emotional survival, your psychological survival, your physical survival. So you give up, you know, you give up your voice to make the abuser, like I said, happy. And so the lack of support, the lack of, again, we see it here as an anchor. Here we see a father and a son, or a father and a daughter, like, father and child, we should just say. And that creates support. That's love. But again, having a lack of that connection of support where, it would affect money, it would affect resources, from support if there was no support. That's what that really means when we see that father figure. Like, we just see the masculine traits, and the masculine traits are ones that are connected to the earth and the earth elements, and the earth element is money. And so this person, like, is good with money, is supportive to their tribe, but there was a lack of. That's what this says. And the abuse is the fact that you were made to feel unworthy, and that there was no real support emotionally, psychologically, mentally. And because of that, again, the focus was more on making other people happy, in 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 pleasing other people, so that you would be accepted, so you would feel loved, so that you would feel. And so Spirit says that you were taught to abandon yourself. And so this is not about abandoning yourself. This is about, reparenting yourself. And you do that through playing, going out into the world and discovering who you are. Or for many of you guys, I feel like you put a lot of time and energy into your craft, into mastering your craft. So if you worked in your free time, you did it, and you kept yourself busy. Like, you disconnected from this person because you're like, hey, listen, I can't trust you. You're not really giving me anything. Your ego is big. You connected to all these people. You have you're in party time. It's like, I'm not interested. So you put the energy into yourself, and you became that support. You became that, you anchored yourself. You integrated those masculine energies of grounding yourself through disciplining yourself. Now, again, if you grew up in abuse, you were not disciplining yourself to really create yourself. You were more in the survival mind. And the survival mind is just worried about what's going on in the moment, not what's going to happen, what did happen. It's, again, our survival. And so Spirit's saying you have to really, like, reparent yourself. And that's by showing up for yourself. That's how you don't self-sabotage yourself. You are this support that when there was no anchor for you, because that made you feel unworthy. And then again, it was abusive. However, through that time, the child that survives thrives. What did you do? Well, you kind of checked out. And you check out by disassociating, because it's like it's hard for children to not have that support. So instead of worrying, they can only worry for so long before a child just doesn't think about it anymore, and they go into that dream state where they're not asleep and they're not awake. It's like they're disassociated. And in this mind is where did that imagination really can flourish. The problem is that if you don't heal the effects of this trauma that happened in childhood, you can make your imagination recreate the abuse, and that abuse of having a person make you feel unworthy that's supposed to love you. And Spirit's saying, so someone that's actually supposed to be a like, main, source of support, they're not giving you the support. Then Spirit says, and you already know that through their behavior. It would be self-sabotaging, regardless of whatever the connection is. It's a past life connection, but it's a past life karmic connection. They lost you in a previous life. They look like they're going to lose you in this life too. Spirit says, because You can't abandon yourself. If you abandon yourself for this person's not going to stay with you. There, all of a sudden, you look like a good thing. You know why? Because you didn't abandon yourself. That's why they're saying, "Oh, I have a lack over here." Well, you don't have a lack. You look strong. You look like your life is good. It's, again, that's very appealing to this person now that they're not in a good space. So again, Spirit's saying it's like go out and play, become yourself, connect with people, discipline yourself, play, meaning do what you love, do what you came here to do. It's like do what you're passionate about. And again, your imagination will open, your third eye will open. Because when you are putting your energy towards the things that you love to do, you get inspired by, again, maybe different people. Because doing what you love to do isn't just about practicing, it's about reading about it, maybe taking class on it, maybe kind of educating yourself more and more and more on it so that you become what it is that you want to see in the world. And that takes a lot of discipline. And Spirit says, well, that's what you did during this time. And that's why this person is finding you so tantalizing. So you've done the work, but they haven't done the work. That's what that's saying. So Spirit says, so know that they're coming back, but they're a karmic and that you shouldn't take them back because they haven't changed. It's again, you've changed. They might trick you into making you think that they also have changed. They haven't. Their situation still is bad. They still, if their situation is worse, now they're not partying and having party time because they don't have money to do that. So it's actually worse. It's not the same, it's actually worse because they have to, give their resources away. They're being controlled by other people. And because they're not really doing anything about it. They're lazy, like, why should I fix it? Instead, what are they doing? They're escaping with alcohol, drugs, other people, getting attention from other people. So, I mean, they haven't done any work. So Spirit leads us off with one more, which is vitality. Know that you are a being of light. Accept the divine energy in your body, and every one of your cells regenerates. Now, this is important. I'm going to tell you why. Because oxygen that we breathe is known as chi, prana, well, it's also known as spirit, is the energy of the universe, is the energy of God, and God is spirit. So when you are free of spiritual blocks, you actually have more vitality. So Spirit says, by again not being with this person, you actually, I'm feeling are more on your going more on your path. And so more on your path, meaning becoming more of who you're supposed to be. And that's because you've been disciplined, you've been putting the time and the energy into yourself. And in that, that's cleared blocks, which is giving you a lot more vitality and energy. When people have spiritual blocks, they're lazy, they're tired, they feel lethargic because of that first chakra, especially when there's a lack of money. Money has no energy. So for the energy that we're given it, when a person doesn't have like direction, and they've given so much money and they don't really have that much money, there's definitely a lack. Well, your identity is not really lack, but then you drink and you do the other things. Now your character is bad. It's like that second chakra becomes off. And it's bad because they're selfish. They're not looking at, anybody else except for themselves, and they're not trying to fix it. They're just in the, you know, poor me. They're finally looking at their situation a little bit because, they're being controlled. And so they're like, I realize I have to change this. But, before then, they didn't care. Like you said, it's when they're uncomfortable, that's when they decide to do something. And they're getting impatient because I feel like, listen, you're not coming back to this person at all. You don't want to be with this person. They see that, that you're not gonna do that. It's like again, this connection brought you deep wisdom. It's again taught you about yourself, taught you about this person, taught you about what you needed to do. They were a very important person to help you within your spiritual evolution. That you learn through the fact that of the pain that they gave, but it pushed you into disciplining yourself because you're like, I don't even want to think about that. And your mind can't be in two places at one time. So in the disciplining and playing and doing more within your own craft and doing more like you wind up not self-sabotaging yourself, you wind up reparenting yourself. So I mean that's a big deal. That's why this person now would be eating the karma. Bright horizons, you're like envisioning a future filled with potential and opportunities. And that's what I'm seeing, where Spirit's saying, now it's about seeing your own journey. This is why you would get vitality. You would get more energy because of that, because you're you're going to need it for manifesting, for again, venturing into the unknown is what Spirit's saying. It's about leaving this person behind. It's about stepping up into a higher vibration so you can actually meet a person that's going to treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. This person treated you a lot like the the family that you grew up with, not who you are today. And that's what Spirit is saying. Spirit says there's a fork in the road. You get to choose. But you already learned the wisdom, the deep spiritual wisdom. So this is yours for the taking. Don't let anyone take what's yours. You don't need to ask. Again, release control, just let it go. The need to control, surrender to the process, meaning you don't have to worry about how it looks. I don't know how to start. I don't know where I'm going. And Spirit says, just do what you love. Do what you love. It's again, it'll open up new opportunities that you're not going to be in charge of. Understand when the student is ready, the teacher appears. The universe always brings you what you need to heal and to evolve, and in this case, it's going to be more about helping you to create yourself because that's where the energy was. This relationship helped you to become, I believe, more financially sound, become more rooted in who you are today. And it's through your creativity, it's through what you're known for with the things that you're putting your energy to, not the traumas of the past. This person is more living from the traumas of their past. And, you know, they're going to be sorry because you're not going to be with them because you're going to say, well, I can go into the future and have all these other wonderful experiences, or I could be connected to you. It's a kind of a no-brainer. It's like I'm going to go into the future and have more vitality, more energy because you're vibing at such a high vibration. And that means that you're going to be a magnet for abundance, for so much more than just this person. And that's what this person sees. They're like, wow, you look real good. Remember, that's what they notice. And remember, they're coming from a place of lack. So now they're seeing, oh, you're the whole package. Perfect. Perfect for me. But you don't have feelings for them like that anymore. That's really what it is because it's like they already exposed themselves. I mean, they come back to you. I mean, I don't really even need to pull, but I'm pulling no because you're like, they're still gonna be feel like they're self-righteous and they would have expectations of what they expected you to do. And you're not going to do any of that because you're like, you're not going to constrain me. So you're not interested, which I knew. But for all those of you that were like, ooh, are they going to come back? Are they going to be with them? No. It's like not in this story. because it's like they already know. You'd have expectations of what you expect me to do, and that would constrain me when you are not here. You are partying, having a good old time, and doing what you're doing, and now, are tied to other people and things that are draining you of your abundance. So, yeah, of course you're seeing me as the package, but like you chose to do what you chose to do. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonate with this one. I'll talk to you soon.